everyone and welcome to my 2021 mid-year stats video. First things first though, quick apologies if this camera's slightly wonky or whatever. I still haven't fixed my camera, so I'm literally just hoping that I'm in the right position right now. And if you hear a fan going at any point in this video and my hair starts blowing around like I'm in a music video, just ignore it. England's in the middle of a heat wave right now and I'm just attempting to not melt. So now let's get into the statistics now that that's out of the way. Let's start with my totals. First of all, I'm really happy with the amount of pages I've read. I don't really have like a yearly goal or anything for the amount of pages I want to read, but that is a decent number of pages read, so I'm very happy with that. I'm also really happy with how many books acquired I've got versus books read. I'm happy that that's slightly higher. Obviously some of that is library books, so it's not quite sort of sorting out my TBR that way, but I'm still very happy with those numbers. It means that I am reading more than I'm acquiring, so I'm very happy with that. My rereads is 5, obviously because I'm rereading Skullduggery Read Pleasant, so I'm happy with that as well. And I've got to admit the library checkouts bit is actually wrong, because I've checked out more than 2 books from the library. I've literally read like 3 from the library this month alone, so that's telling you something, but I don't know why that's wrong, it just is. But either way, I'm still very happy with these numbers. As for my reading goal, I'm very happy to be 174% done on this, because that's just great for me, quite frankly, because I like finishing my goal early so then I can really smash it out the ballpark for the rest of the year. I also kind of have a goal of 60 books, 60 comics, because I like a challenge apparently. I didn't actually put that in my goals video or anything because I quite frankly forgot about it until, well, as you know, I came up with it after I filmed the goals video in like February, but there we go. Either way, I did have that goal and I think I'm well on my way or have completed it, so I'm very happy with that as well. In terms of my books each month read, I'm very happy with those numbers. I generally sort of aim for about 6 each month, so to have that nearly doubled in, or more than doubled every single month, I'm very happy with that. June, I don't know why that was my most successful month, probably because it was Loki month and therefore I was just mainlining my Loki comics and that bumped up the numbers a bit. But I mean, July's also going really well. I've got a couple of books left to finish, so I'm very happy with those numbers. And I'm not going to try and aim for like the same number that I got in June and July every single month, because that's just ridiculous and leads to burnout, but I'm quite happy with those numbers. I'm actually very happy with those numbers. In terms of the age range I'm reading, I'm quite happy with that. I knew that YA was going to be the biggest one because quite frankly I put all of my comics down as YA unless they are specifically aimed at children or they're very bloody and violent and gory and very clearly adult essentially, so everything else goes in the YA category, so I knew that was going to be my biggest one. I'm surprised I've only read 9 middle grades, because if you take out the 5 Skullduggery Read Pleasant books I've read, that means I've only read 4 other middle grades this year, and I should have read more by now. I definitely should have read more by now, so I'm definitely going to try and higher that one up a bit because I need to read more middle grade. I've got a lot of middle grade and I just haven't read it, so I need to get on that. In terms of non-own voices versus own voices, I'm sort of happy with this. It means I am reading 2 own voices books a month, which I'm quite happy with, but quite frankly I could still do better. And obviously I'm going to be going into more detail in terms of like author race and everything else in a minute in another chart, so at least I've got specifically 12 that are own voices, but I can definitely do better on that one. But I'm happy that it's averaging out at about 2 a month, because that is definitely better than it was last year, so I am improving on that front, but there's still definitely room for improvement. In terms of series statistics, I knew that the majority was going to be part of a series, because obviously, like I said, again, I am rereading Skullduggery, which means I am reading another book in the series every single month, and then obviously a lot of my comics are also series, so I knew that that was going to be the main part of it. I am very happy with that as well, because it does mean I am making progress in series, despite the fact that it doesn't feel like I am glad that I am actually making progress in a lot of series or finishing off series and stuff like that, so I'm very happy with that. And I mean, 21 standalones as well is not bad either. In terms of author identity, in terms of the gender of my authors, I'm still not doing well on this one, I've got to admit. I still seem to be reading the majority male books, but again, this is because of comics, because unfortunately comics are mainly male based, which is very annoying. I have read a few more comics and bought a few more comics from female authors, but it's still the majority is male, which is not good and it's not an excuse, but it is a sort of explanation for that. But if you've got any like female authors or any other gender identity authors recommendations, please leave them down below so I can check them out, because I definitely need to do better on this front. So definitely leave your recommendations down below, and it's definitely going to be something I'm going to be working on for the rest of the year and throughout the rest of my life essentially. So that is definitely room for improvement right there. But on the plus side, I'm pretty sure my stats last year proved that I hadn't read as many female written books, so in that sense I'm doing slightly better, but there's definitely room for improvement, because I'd like to have that male authorship down by a hell of a lot and everybody else improved upon and expanded a hell of a lot as well. So definitely need to work on that one. In terms of author race, again, this is another place for room for improvement, because it's 73% white, which isn't good. And I mean, 12 of those books are from Asian authors, but that is, the majority of those are mangas, so I definitely need to do better there. And I've only read 8 black authors and 2 mixed race authors, and that is it. I definitely need to do better on that one. So if you've got any recommendations, please leave them down below so I can check them out. I've got a couple on my TBR, but as always, I could do better on this one. So if you've got any recommendations for that, please do let me know down below. So definitely need to do better on that one, because that is definitely not good. I definitely need to be getting better at that and being more conscious with who I read. And unfortunately I don't have a chart for this because I had to add it myself, and I quite frankly don't know how to add charts on Excel, so I should probably figure that out. But in terms of disability, I have also not done that well either. I've probably only read Shauna Maguire, who is disabled, and that's about it. So I definitely need to do better on that one as well. So that's going to be another one on my list of things I need to improve upon. Then in terms of genre, 65 graphic novels. That's a lot of graphic novels. Like, I knew it was coming because obviously I've been mainlining my WandaVision comics, my Loki comics and my Falcon and the Winter Soldier comics, because the TV shows have been coming out, and I will be doing this for the rest of the year with What If, Miss Marvel and also Hawkeye. So I knew that was coming, and obviously I've been reading other comics around this as well as on top of mangas, so I knew that was coming. But 65 is a lot. But at least I've completed that part of my challenge as well of 60 graphic novels, 60 novels, so very happy with that. In terms of everything else, 26 fantasy. I thought I'd read more fantasy than that, but apparently I hadn't. I was sure I'd read more, but okay then. I'm going to need to read more of those. In terms of sci-fi, I'm happy with that number actually at 5, because last year I read 4 sci-fis total. So to have 5 sci-fis by the middle of the year, that is great. I'm very happy with that, because that's averaging out at nearly 1 a month, so very happy with that number. That is well on my way to my goal of, well, it's actually completed my goal of more sci-fi, so very happy with that one. In terms of the other genres, there's nothing else I really want to focus on, to be honest. I'm just very happy sticking with my fantasy, sci-fi and graphic novels, quite frankly. But I've got to admit, for the rest of the year I am going to try and boost my novels compared to graphic novels, because I need to read some more. But comics are just so much fun. I need to read more of my novels, but I'm getting there. I just need to equal that out a little bit more, I think. I just need to equal that out just a little bit more, but I knew it was coming this year. I knew it was coming this year because it's the year of the Marvel adaptation, so I've just been mainlining a lot of them, but I knew it was coming. Then finally, in terms of subgenre, I'm quite happy with that as well, because that is 21 sci-fis as a subgenre. So this is including comics that are sci-fi and things like this. So I'm very happy with that, because again, that is absolutely smashing my goal of over 4 sci-fis essentially. So very, very happy with that one. In terms of fantasy, 15 fantasy, yeah, that makes sense. Then 7 horrors, I'm pretty sure that's including like mangas like Tokyo Ghoul and things like this. I've counted that as horror, so yeah, that makes sense. I think that's where that comes from. I don't know, I can't remember anything specifically horror that I've read, because I don't read horror. I'm going to have to look into this, but I don't remember reading that many things counted as horror, but I have no idea. But I'm happy with that, because apparently I like horror books, which is why I've recently bought Fear Street, book 1, but I didn't think horror was a genre I liked, but I may have to look into that more, quite frankly. But yeah, in terms of retellings though, that's only 2. I did want to read more than that, so I definitely need to get on that one. 1 paranormal, that's fine, and 2 mangas. So again, that's absolutely fine. That's the kind of numbers I was expecting, but it's the horror that's thrown me. The horror's absolutely thrown me here. And that's actually the end of my stats. So the main takeaway from this is I need to check out horror, because apparently I seem to like reading horror now. And I need to even out my novels to graphic novels, because apparently I am reading a lot of graphic novels, which I knew was coming, but I need to read a few more books off my TBR as well. And I need to diversify my authors. I know I had to do that, but I am slacking. I need to get on that. I need to work more on that. So that is my goal for the rest of the year, is to continue diversifying my authors and reading more female authors and LGBTQIA+ authors and gender non-conforming authors and everything else. So I just need to get on that and work on that, essentially. That is definitely something I need to work on. And with that, I'm actually going to leave this video here. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below and tell me what you need to work on for the rest of the year. And like I said, any author recommendations, please leave them down below. I love to have them. I'll also leave a link down below to all my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, which has been filled with all of the comic content throughout this month and throughout the rest of the year. So please do check that out if you are interested in comics. And if you want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time everyone, bye!